River City Junction, River City Station, next stop.
You're crazy with the heat. Credit's no good for a traveling salesman.
All aboard!
But what's the matter with credit?
Charlie, you're an Anvil salesman. Does your firm give any credit?
No, sir.
And nor anybody else.
River City, next.
Cash only, and you've got to know the territory.
You made a salesman by the name of Hill.
Hill?
Hill.
Never heard of any Hill. What's his line?
Never worries about his line. But he don't know the territory. He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a music man. He sells clarinets to all the kids in the town, and big trombones, and rat-a-tat drums. Uniforms too, with a shiny braid on the coat, and a big red line running.
Listen, I don't know that much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling trombones and drums.
No, the fellow sells bands. Boys bands. And I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king.
River City, we're crossing the state line into Iowa. River City, population 2,212.
What he does know the territory?
Alright, if you're all through, I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
Never saw him in my life, but I'll tell you this much. He's giving every one of us a black eye. After he's worked the town over, the next salesman to arrive gets tarred and feathered and rode out to the city limits on a rail.
But why should he get rode out on a rail?
Because in order to sell uniforms and instruction booklets and band instruments, he has to guarantee to teach the kids to play.
So?
And form them kids into a band with him as a leader?
What's wrong with that?
He don't know one note from another. He can't even tell a bass drum from a pipe organ. I'll catch up to that swindling tuba thimble rigger, and I'll squill him so loud.
You're mad, Charlie. Sure like to see you if you catch up to that fella.
No, it won't be on this trip. Not in Iowa. Even the great Professor Hill wouldn't want to sell these neck guys out here.
All aboard!
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
Don't believe I caught your name.
I don't believe I gave it. Excuse me, sir, do you have the... Sorry, ma'am, can I have the directions to...
Oh, there's nothing that way. I built the Iowa way to treat you when we treat you, we treat you. There's an Iowa kind, special to our shoulder, we can be cold as a falling thermometers in December if you ask about our weather in July. And we're so blind and stubborn we can stand touching noses for a week at a time and never see eye to eye. But what the heck? You're welcome. Join us at the picnic. You can eat your fill of all the food you bring yourself. You really ought to give Iowa a try, provided you are contrary. And there I was at Madison Hospital, and no one come. Cousin Will never come, and Bertha never come.
Fire and Bertha's dead!
She wouldn't have come anyways. So what the heck? You're welcome. You really ought to give Iowa, oh God, Iowa, Dubuque, Des Moines, Davenport, Fredericktown, Mason City, Keokuk, and Mason Clear Lake. Ought to give Iowa a try.
Hey, Gregory!
Marcellus?
The old son of a gun, what?
Shh.
But Greg!
No, Professor Hill's the name now. Harold Hill.
But Greg, what are you doing here? Why didn't you let me know he was coming?
Well, I didn't know I was coming myself. Besides, how could I have known that you would end up in a little tank town such as this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in the business with me.
Too many cliches by the way you work. Besides, I got myself a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Toppenmeyer, my boss's niece. So, what's the new pitch? Oh, you're not back in the band business. I heard you was in steam automobiles.
I was.
So what happened?
Someone actually invented one.
No.
All right, enough chit-chat. Now, give me the lowdown here, Mars.
You're never gonna get anywhere in the band business with these stubborn Iowans, Greg. Besides, we got a stuck-up music teacher who'll expose you before you can get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
Music? She's the music teacher? She's librarian. Female.
Perfect, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
I will, so how are you gonna start it?
Same old way. My first step will be to keep the music teacher off bounds. And then, after that, I'll have to get your town out of the serious trouble that it's in.
But River City ain't in any trouble.
Then we'll have to make some. We need to create a desperate need for there to be a boys band in River City. You remember. So what's new here? What can I use?
Nothing besides the billiard parlor just put in a no pool table.
And they never had a pool table there before?
No, only billiards.
That'll do. See you later, Mars. And remember, piano teacher. Why, hello there, man. You must be Mrs. Dunlop.
Yeah.
Well then, either you're closing your eyes to a situation that you don't wish to acknowledge, or you are unaware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, I got trouble, my friends. I say I got trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm billet player, certainly mighty proud to say. I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with the cue in my hand are golden. Help me cultivate horse sense and a cool head and a keen eye. Did you ever think and try and give an ironclad lead from a three-rail billiard shot? For just as I say, it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a ball-inclined game. I say any boob can take and shove a ball in a pocket. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in the table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital B, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for bum. And all week long, your River City youth will be frittering away. I say your young boys will be frittering. Frittering away their noontime, supper time, chore time too. Get the ball in the pocket, never mind getting damn lines pulled to the screen nor capture the beefsteak pounded. Yes, you got trouble, folks. Right here in River City, trouble with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground. Trouble!
Oh, we got trouble!
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City!
With a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. We've surely got trouble! Right here in River City.
Right here!
Gotta figure out a way to keep the young one tomorrow after school.
Our children's gonna have trouble.
Mothers of River City, heed the warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The moment your son leaves the house, does he buckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he memorizing jokes out of Captain Billy's whiz bang? Are certain words creeping into his conversation, like swell and soldier-old man? Well then, if so, my friends, you got trouble!
Oh, we got trouble!
Right here in River City!
Right here in River City!
With a capital T and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool! We've surely got trouble! Right here in River City! Remember the main limit, the rock and the golden rule!
Our children's gonna have trouble!
Oh yes, we got trouble! We're in terrible, terrible trouble! That game with the 15 numbered balls and the devil's tool! Oh yes, we got trouble, trouble, trouble!
We got trouble here! We got big, big trouble!
With the T! Alignment with P! That stands for pool! Excuse me, miss, did you drop your...
No.
Oh, didn't I see you around in...
No.
Well, I'll only be in town for a while.
Good.
That you, my daughter? Yes, Mama. Keep on, Amaryllis. I'll
be there in a minute. Fine, dear. Now your exercises.
Yes, teacher. I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July.
It was, Mama. All evening, a man with a suitcase has been following me around all over town.
Oh, who?
I never saw him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now, don't dawdle, Amaryllis. So, do, la, ti, mi, a little slower, and please keep your fingers curled as nice and as high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, wouldn't it have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted?
I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Excuse me for living, but I've never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with that same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as Mass Fun Library is trusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I cannot my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But darling, when a woman's got a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can't quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all them other highfalutin Greeks.
Now, Mama, if you don't mind me saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
No, we haven't changed the subject. I was talking to that stranger with a suitcase of maybe your very last
Now,
chance.
Mama, do you really think I like some common mashing? Now, really, Mama, I have standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards if you don't mind my saying so. There's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to that blend of all money, same pattern, or words that you can concoct up for yourself. And your Irish imagination, your Irish stubbornness, your library full of books.
Well, that isn't the best I've ever heard it.
Hello, Winthrop. Winthrop, where's your manners? I'm having a party on Saturday. Would you please come? I'd especially like it very much if you'd come. Winthrop? Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis asked you to a party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name. He won't say Amaryllis because of the S. Because of his lisp. He's ashamed. We know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop, I'll bet he won't say it.
No, thank you. Amaryllis?
Amaryllis! Amaryllis! He's crying. Why does he get so mad just because of his lisp?
It's not just because of his lisp, Amaryllis. That's only part of it.
Then what's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he doesn't like to talk very much.
Not even to you or your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me, but I do him. Every night I say good evening to him on the morning start, on the night start. You have to do it too at the very moment you see it, or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Tight.
Oh, there, darling. Don't cry. You have lots of time. If not with her, then someone else.
Never! I'll end up an old maiden just like you! I'm sorry, Miss Marion, but without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to. The evening's far.
I know, Amaryllis. But for the time being, let's just say goodnight, my someone. You could put the name in when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Good night, my someone. Good night, my love. Sleep tight, my someone. Sleep
As mayor of River City, I welcome you, River citizens. The 4th of July exercise is held here in the outdoors in Town Square. 4 score. The school board will now present the patriotic tableau. The school board will not present the patriotic tableau. Something about costumes, I suppose. Anyways, 4 score.
We heard there's a pool table in our town.
Now, just a minute.
Well, is there a pool table or isn't it?
Will you allow me to get on with the ceremony?
We don't want any more ceremony till we get this pool table matter settled.
Let's protect our children. Smite that devil and keep our young boys pure. May I have your attention, please? Your attention, please. I can deal with this trouble, friends, with a wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me, if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize the River City Boys Band. Ta! Just think, my friends, how could any pool table ever hope to compete with the gold trombone? Wah, 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 wah. Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous, fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, billiard parlor walls come tumbling down. Oh yes, I mean a boys band, do you hear me? I say River City's gotta have her boys band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand, and River City's gonna have her boys band. Shore's the Lord made green apples, and that band's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Freddie, Ted, and you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, and you'll hear the thunder of rolling drums, the shimmer of trumpets, da-da-da! And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill that I once enjoyed when Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the great creator W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones topped the morning sun with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottom timpani and horse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double-bell euphoniums and big bassoons, each bassoon having its big fat say. There were 50 mounted cannons in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who'd improvise a full octave higher than the score. Trombone hits the counterpoint, 110 cornets plays the way. The rhythm of heart, 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 all the kids began to march, and they're marching still right today.
This calls for emergency action. That man held a spellbinder. Constable, I want that man's credentials. Grab that hoodlum.
Thank you, Professor. I have to make an example of him. Let me go.
You wild kid, you hanging around my oldest girl. He was caught gallivanting down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday.
I wasn't gallivanting.
Don't you contradict me!
Like, we were just walking together.
Watch your physiology. I know what you're doing. My little Gracie Senior. Now stay away from my oldest girl. You'll hear from me till the later rails. Now, Mr. Hill, I'll talk to you over at City Hall 10 o'clock sharp. Now, Constable, I want that man's credentials.
Now, Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
You don't know this kid. He's tough.
Oh, I'll be careful. Now, Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Boy, that's for the kids, though.
No, I don't mean playing in the band. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? Ever done anything with perpetual motion?
Like a couple times.
Really? You're my man. Do you realize that no one has ever invented a music holder for the marching piccolo player? There's no place to hang the music.
I mean, I can make one, but I just need the wire.
Very good, Tommy. Now, Constable, this is how you really keep a young lad on the right track. Excuse me, miss, what's your name?
Zanita, I didn't have any idea you were beckoning to me. He gods.
Well, Zanita, do you know Tommy DeGillis?
See,
Tommy, this is Zanita. Escort the young lady home.
only accepting I'm not going home. I have to go to the library. He gods.
Oh, I understand. Then, Tommy, escort the young lady home by way of the candy kitchen.
Well, sir, do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
He gods.
Professor, you've been a smart fella. We made a couple mistakes.
Oh, and what were they?
The mayor happens to own the billiard parlor and the new pool table.
And what was the other one?
That's Anita. She's the mayor's oldest daughter. Now, I'll be seeing you around, and I want your credentials the next time we meet.
Excuse me, I don't suppose you live alone?
No.
Well, I've got some wonderful caramel.
Mr. Hill!
Professor Hill.
Professor of what? At what college do they give out degrees for annoying women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
Oh, I wouldn't know myself. You see, I'm a conservatory man. Gary, Indiana. Gold medal class of '05.
Even should that be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? And another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I find it only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in there that may very well give me some interesting information about you.
Hey, Gregory!
Oh, hey, Marcellus. And don't call me Greg.
How'd you make out with the music teacher?
Oh, just scrumptious. Ate out of my hand the moment I tipped my hat.
She did. Boy, did you got a sway tonight. For a minute, even I thought you knew something about me and your parents. Just like you used to imitate that band concert fellow back in Joplin.
Yeah, kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. You just keep your eyes on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? It only used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
But it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh, no, Greg, you haven't added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Uniforms and instruction books? I mean, honestly, you can't believe you can pass yourself off as a music professor. I mean, not for 4 weeks.
Now, Marcellus.
But you don't know one note from another.
But I have developed a truly revolutionary new method called the Think System, where you simply don't bother with the notes.
But if the kids self the sociable, people will want to be hearing music.
But when the uniforms arrive, they forget everything, at least long enough for me to collect the money and go, that is. Oh, this is a refined operation, son, and I've got it timed right down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand to the last train right out of town. And now, Mr. Washburn, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, Professor Hill! We're all agog, simply agog.
Oh, the puppy!
We're all very excited about the band.
I'm Mrs. Doppelmayr, the piano girl, and this is Mrs. Hicks, and of course you met Mrs. Eulalie McKechnie Shin, the mayor's wife. Oh, isn't it exciting, Eulalie?
Oh, I couldn't say. Oh, no, I could not say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure. And naturally, I'm reticent. Oh, yes, I'm reticent.
Oh, I understand completely, Miss Shin, but you see, my music plans include a committee on the dance for the... Miss Shin, do that again. Your foot, the way you raised it just now.
Oh, I have a bunion there that bothers.
Oh, what grace, what natural flow of rhythm, what expression of line and movement.
Mr. Hill!
You must accept the chairmanship of the ladies' auxiliary of the classical dance. Now, mustn't you, ladies?
Oh, yes, yes, you must.
Every move that you make, Miss Chin, bespeaks del sarte. Will you say yes, Miss Chin?
Eulalie McKechnie Shin? That is, dancing well.
Can you accept?
Yes, indeed. And I would like to say...
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And now, about the young lady who plays the piano. Marion Peru, I believe? After all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 cheep.
Professor, her kind of book doesn't belong on any committee. Of course, I shouldn't tell you this, but she advocates dirty books.
Dirty books!
Chaucer!
To blaze.
Balzac!
Cheep, 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 cheep.
And the worst thing, of course, I shouldn't even tell you this, but
I'll tell!
the family of my state let me tell.
Stop! I'll tell. She made brazen overtures with a man who never had a friend in this town till she came here. Old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison? Madison Gymnasium, Madison Hospital, Madison Picnic Park, that Miser Madison?
Exactly. Who do you think he was, anyway?
Well, I should say, Show-Off gave the town the library too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he gave the whole library building to the city. But he left all the books to her. She was seen going and coming from his place.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That would make brazen overtures with the gilt-edged guarantee. She had a golden glint in her eye and a silver voice with a counterfeit ring. Just melt her down and you'll reveal a lump of lead as cold as steel here, where a woman's heart should be.
Black River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her.
Chaucer!
Blaze.
Balzac!
Cheep, 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 cheep. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little.
Of course, I have exactly what you need over at the hotel. Come with me.
Talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little, pick a little, talk a
Good night,
little,
ladies.
talk a little, cheep, 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 cheep.
Good night,
Talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little,
I'm going to leave you now. Farewell, ladies. It's all right. I know everything, and it doesn't make a difference.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you are probably very young, and anyone can make a mistake.
What?
No apologies, no explanations. I'll only be in town a short while, and ha, the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
Oh, I already have.
Well, what do you want to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet,
You're not listening to me.
please leave.
Librarian. Madam Librarian. What can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, heaven help us if the library caught on fire and the volunteer hose brigade men had to whisper the news to Marion. Madam Librarian. Now in the moonlight, a man could sing it. In the moonlight, you, dear. I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion is a long-lost cause I can never win, for the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marion. Madam Librarian. Well, Tommy, we've had a pretty good morning. 11 sales out of 12 tries. Tell you what, it's almost noon. You go home and get some supper. I'll try a couple on my own.
I'll see you later, Professor.
Thanks, Tommy. Why, Mrs. Peru, do you realize that you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I'm not sure if I understand you entirely, Professor.
Why, if your young lad has that same firm chin, those splendid cheek muscles, by George! Not that he could ever be really great, you see, but...
Oh, is that so? And then the name is St. British, why not?
Well, you see, all the great cornet players, they were Irish. O'Clark, O'Mendes, O'Klein...
But Professor, we are Irish!
No, really? That clinches it. Your boy was born to play the cornet. And of course, I'll need the boy's measurements for his band uniform.
His uniform!
Ah, hello, son. Yes, his uniform. And there won't be a single penny due until delivery, which gives him 4 weeks to enjoy, to anticipate, to imagine. At no cost at all whatsoever. Never allow the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the pleasures and excitements of today.
Wouldn't have
A stripe? Certainly, my boy. A wide right stripe on each side of the uniform. Now, what do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us. But if you get him to play in the band, you'll have St. Michael's away with you. But if anybody can do it, oh, but you can. Out of a crowd, I'll pick you for a hot carrying, clay pipe smoking, shamrock wearing, harp playing, Maverick and Pigeon, Tarzo, Metro singing Irishman. Pick up, be jabbers. Where are you from, me boy?
Well, I'm from Gary, Indiana.
I knew it! Where did you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Yes, indeed she was. Gold medal class of Ot 5.
Mr. Hill!
Ah, Marion Peru. I see the family resemblance. You know, I've tried to see you since the other night, but...
He wants to put Winthrop in the band!
We're not interested, Mama.
Well, that's 1 for and 1 against. Why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, that's all the more reason why your brother should have something like this.
My brother is a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father was taken away. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years. As to your musical tricks, why don't you do business with a nice carnival man selling gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks? Why, Miss Peru, I hardly believe that... Oh, I get the feeling she likes the idea. Maybe a bit cautious at first, but I admire that in a woman. Keep me alive, and I'll be back later in the week.
Oh, Professor, I do hope you excuse Marion. She's not really...
Has he gone?
He has, and I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think of your future.
No, Mama. A woman's future shouldn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing traveling man that comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. But it's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop, I know you're there. Please go to the library and get the book Mrs. Grubb set aside for me. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal of 1890 to 1910. It's a brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
You don't have to talk to anyone. I've written it all down for you. Thank you, dear.
Now, what are you up to?
I have a feeling that the Indiana Journal will poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
Is that the first thing I said or not?
Yes, George.
The first thing I said earlier today was the horse. Get that spellbinder's credentials, I said. Only on July 4th, 1912. And now look, my wife is off dancing at any and all hours instead of in the home.
But George!
And my oldest girl is some boodling around some wild kid. Bitching my pullout's gotten off so far I can't even find the balance sheet.
Mayor Shin, I found some very interesting information about Professor Hill's alma mater.
His who?
His university.
Oh, I know all about that fact. All I can ever get out of him. Gary Conservatory class about 5.
Yes, but if you'll take a minute to read a little bit about the conservatory, I don't think you'll need to look any longer. It's on page...
Papa! The Wells Fargo wagon is just coming up from the depot! The Wells Fargo wagon?
Nonsense. At this hour, the Wells Fargo wagon.
It could be the band instruments.
The band instruments.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be. I got a box of maple sugar on my birthday. In March I got a granny maquillon. And once I got some grapefruit from Tampa.
Montgomery Ward sent me a belt top and a carrossel cut so.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down. Is it a prepaid surprise or COD? It could be curtains or dishes or a double pilot. Or it could be. Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be. Something very, very special now.
Just for me! It's the band instrument!
Ah, here you are, Winthrop.
My cornet! Gee, thanks, Professor!
Now, men, you will each receive individual instruction in the upcoming weeks. In the meantime, stay off the streets and out of trouble, and get acquainted with your instruments, and most importantly, think about the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da.
Sister! Isn't this the most scrumptious solid thing you ever saw? I never thought I'd see anything as scrumptious as this scrumptious solid thing. Oh, sister!
Round one for you, Mr. Hill, but I better get some bygone tooting out of them horns in short order, or I'll see you at the grand jury over at County Seat. Now, Miss Marion, about the book.
Oh, come, George. Tempest Fugitus.
Watch your philology. Now, Miss Marion, about the book.
Now, Miss Marion, the ladies' dance committee meets Tuesday nights at the high school.
All right, folks, the summer sociable's coming up, and the fellas in the band and I got some entertainment for you. Get ready for the news dance craze straight out of Indiana.
Start her up, Mr. Washburn. Wait till you see the new Professor Hill taught us.
Now, a woman who kiss on the very first date is usually a hussy, and a woman who kiss on the second time out is anything but fussy. But a woman who waits till the third time around, head in the clouds, feet on the ground, she's the girl these Galatis found. She's his shipoopy, 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 shipoopy.
It's hard to get,
Shipoopy, shipoopy, shipoopy.
but you can't win her yet.
Walk her once, just raise the curtain, then you walk her around twice and make for certain. Once more, power gun, she will never get sore. Beg her pardon.
Don't break me, but so fussy,
Squeeze her once when she isn't looking, even get a squeeze back, that's fancy cooking. Once more for pep her up, but she'll never get sore. Way to stop her.
Don't break me, but so fussy,
Now, little old Sal's no gal as anyone could see. Look at her now, she's a go gal who only goes for me. Squeeze her once when she isn't looking, if you get a squeeze back, that's fancy cooking. Once more for a pep her up, but she'll never get sore. Way to stop her.
Don't break me, but so fussy,
Shipoopy, shipoopy, shipoopy.
the girl who's hard to get,
Shipoopy, shipoopy, shipoopy.
but you can't win her yet.
Now, Miss Marion, you are quite the dancer if I do say so myself.
Sweet talk can only get you so far, Professor. I've been meaning to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
His cornet! Mother of pearl keys!
I'm sure it's fine, but he never touches it. Oh, in the first week he made a few experimental blats, I guess you'd say.
Yes, blats.
And he sings the minuet G almost constantly, but he never touches the cornet.
Well, you see...
He says you told him it wasn't necessary.
Well...
And he tells me of some think system, how if you think the minuet G, you won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor...
Miss Marion, the think system is a truly revolutionary method, even I'll admit. But so was Galileo's conception of the heavens, Columbus's conception of the globe, and even Bach's conception of the tempered clavichord. Now, I cannot discuss such delicate things with you in public. What one can I call a fair librarian as yourself?
Why, any night this week?
Will you ever stop arguing with yourself? Will you ever tell him? Won't you ever tell him? Just open your mouth and let it come out.
Mama!
Stop it. If he ever comes to call again, you see him alone, you have the gumption to tell him how you feel.
Tell him.
Well, there's nothing wrong with a lady like him.
Mama!
Winthrop, where have you been?
Fishing!
Fishing?
With Harold!
You mean Professor Hill?
Mm-hmm.
And did you have a good time?
Grumpy. He told me about his hometown, Gary, Indiana, and he said he'd take me there someday. He also taught me a song that hardly had any S's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, let me say that once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, that's the town that you me well. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how I happened on this elegant syncopation, I would say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can find my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, that will be the end of Paris, France, New York, but Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my own sweet home. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how I happened on this elegant syncopation, I would say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can find my face.
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana.
That will be Vienna, Paris, France, New York, but
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home.
I'll be back in a minute. I have to throw Emerald my life frog.
Leave the dishes, I'll do them, Mama.
Don't you have to change the sociable?
There's time later.
Should live around here somewhere?
The Shin home is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Ah, criminy. You're the piano teacher in town? You must know about a fella Hill making a boys band here.
Yes?
Well, don't let it worry you no more. I got the goods in him in spades. Good swindling too with them rigger, so I gotta eat shit. I'm just passing through. The number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop. Which was funny. Wouldn't mind looking at you for 5 minutes, girly girl.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cowell, anvil salesman. But now I'm out to protect the good name of our traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Big mistake, my lady's corset cover. He's been the raspberry seat in my wisdom tooth long enough. What kind of teacher are you? You didn't even see right through him.
I know all about that. Band teachers are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director in his scholastics.
No. He doesn't even have a band. He never had a band.
Well, if you'll just listen to me for a minute.
I'd like to do more than that. I sure got the inclination. But I have to catch the train and leave this dynamite.
You'll never make the train at the station. You'll have to catch it at the crossing. Leave word with me.
Yeah, I know I gotta leave word. But I know it's not gonna leave word with you. Wah, wah.
Just a minute, Mr. Cowell. You don't know me yet.
I sure got the inclination.
Your train is leaving? I suggest you run for it.
Now you don't know him. He has a girl in every county in Illinois. That's 102 counties. You haven't seen the last of me.
Mary, dear, who was you just talking to just now? Why, Professor Hill.
Ah, Mrs. Peru. And top of the evening, Miss Marion.
You and Marion come up and said, I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, put some on!
Well, shall we set, as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Did I? I didn't mean it.
Now, Miss Marion, I'm not suggesting that your invitation inferred anything at all, but academic enlightenment, of course. The think system. I've been by your house a time or two this week to try to explain it to you, but there always seem to be other people around. Mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the ladies.
Well, it's evidently not the convenient night. I'll see you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill! Is it true you've had 100? What I'm trying to say
Yes?
is it really true that you developed a think system?
A what? Oh, a think system. Why? It's very simple, in fact. As simple as whistling, you could say. No one has to show you how to use your lips while whistling. You simply have to think of a tune and have it come out right here. Now, just try it yourself before you ask any more questions.
I'll take your word.
Could we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers?
Well, I dare say you've met dozens, even 100.
Well,
And have they all been as fascinated as I have with think system?
some more, some less. One young lady had even thought up a similar system by the time I got to her town. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Oh, please don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. You must have many more important things to do than explain the think system to someone like me.
No, I can't think of one.
And I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where'd you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of a traveling salesman.
Now, Miss Marion, you shouldn't believe everything that you hear. After all, one even hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty?
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me an assured job at the library so that Mother Winthrop and I could have some security. Surely you don't believe...
No, of course I don't believe any of those. But why do you think people start rumors like that?
Narrow-mindedness, jealousy. Jealousy mostly, I guess. And if another salesman or anyone should get jealous, well, I mean, they could be down on their lives.
What could?
Rumors and things.
Why, of course.
I guess it just goes to show you that you shouldn't believe everything you hear. And if someone was to discuss things...
Now, Miss Marion, I would be absolutely delighted to discuss anything in the world with you, but couldn't we do it sitting down?
We could sit on the porch steps.
Or we could sit on a hollow log over at the footbridge.
Oh, I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
I have to get ready for the sociable.
Then meet me there in 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama!
What?
I just told Professor Hill that I meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Glory be in the saints' praise! It works!
What works?
I've been using the think system on you!
Grant! The uniforms arrived. The kids are in them already. If people may scream for music, the kids show up at the sociable. Here's most of the dough. I got Tommy to collect it. He's keeping the kids together at least. Pretending to hold a practice at the lumberyard.
All right, Mars, get the rig.
Already got it.
What time's the freight leave?
9:40 from the junction.
But it's not even 8:30 yet.
Look, you want to stay around here and get caught in a bunny trap, you go ahead. But
All right, Mars, don't worry. I'll meet you over at the hotel in plenty of time. Ah, Miss Marion, you're late.
But you said 15 minutes.
No, I mean that you were about 26 years late, I'd say, if it took you this long to get to the footbridge with a fella.
Well, if you want to know the truth, it was almost longer. Halfway here, I nearly turned back, but I'm glad that I came. And I guess I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Now, Miss Marion, I don't recall selling you anything.
No, you've given me something. That's why I came.
And I don't remember giving you
Oh, yes, you have. Something beautiful. That's why I came, and I'm glad. Oh, please don't be afraid that I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay in one place for too long. I know there have been many ports to call, and there will be many to come, but that's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you have given me. There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all till there was you.
And there was music and wonderful roses, they tell me, in sweet fragrant meadows of dawn and dew.
There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you.
Excuse me, I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berrylaws. This could be it. Now what?
Who's the salesman here? Sounds like she's selling nearby.
Well, how was I supposed to know I'd be able to leave tonight? Besides, I had to keep her off balance, remember? Didn't I tell you?
She's so far off balance you can't tell from a cat phone in a hurricane.
Never a peaceful moment in the music business. Now then, where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you?
Well, we don't have to go into that just now, do we?
No, we don't. Or ever, for that matter. Harold, the librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately, but she did plenty when you first came here.
Oh, about what?
About Professor Harold Hill. Gary Conservatory, gold medal class of Ot 5. Harold, there wasn't any Gary Conservatory in Ot 5.
What do you mean? Why,
Well,
there's
because the town wasn't even built until Ot 6. I'll see you at the sociable.
You knew the whole time?
Since July 7th. I tore this page from the Indiana Journal. It was originally intended to use against you, but now I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew the whole time, then why didn't you... Why, you little...
Missed my train and probably lost my job, but I'm here to warn you about Harold Hill. Road agent, highwayman, pickpocket.
Pickpocket?
That's right, pickpocket. He's had his hand in yours, and in yours, and in yours the moment he came. Now, you have to chase him down or else there won't be any Harold Hill.
Now do you believe me?
I want my money back.
Money back, I want his hide.
After him!
Marion, I've been looking all over for you. Where have you been?
Harold, I've been looking for Winther. Please run away. Oh, please, Harold, please go. They're even talking about tar and feathers.
But I can't. I had to come see you.
No, you didn't. Don't you understand? You don't owe me a word. Not a word. Now, please, go, Harold.
He's anywhere around here. Let's try down by the creek.
Winther!
Hey, now hold a minute here, son.
I'm not your son. Leave me go.
Not till I talk to you first for a minute.
I won't listen. You want to tell the truth anyway.
I would too.
What not?
I would too. I'll tell you anything at all that you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty rotten crook?
Yes.
Leave me go, you big liar!
All right. You wanted the truth, didn't you? And I'm bigger than you, and you're going to still stand here and get it all anyway, so you might as well quit wiggling. Look, there's two things you're entitled to know. One, you're a wonderful kid. I knew so from the very first moment. And that's why I wanted you in the band. So you'd quit moping around, feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, the other thing isn't really much of your business now that I think about it.
I wish you never come to River City!
No, you don't, Winthrop.
Mister, you believe him?
I believe everything he ever said.
But he promised us.
I know what he promised, and it happened just like he said. The lights, and the flags and colors, and the symbols.
Where was all that?
In the way that every kid walked around here all summer, especially you, even the parents. Did Mama wish he'd never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, Winthrop. Now go, Harold.
Go on, Professor, hurry up.
No, I can't go. I have to stay.
Why?
For the first time in my life, I got my foot caught in the door. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you.
Bird, they're here, that way.
Go on, Professor, that way, that way!
Not so fast, pal. You going in the slammer.
Fellow river citizens, I can only remind you that I did everything in my power to prevent this dire happening from happening. Score!
What have you done to get our money back? That man collected $300 for us for uniforms? Just tonight. And we haven't even seen the uniforms yet.
He's slippery! I told you!
I haven't seen my son or any uniform since just after supper.
He's a kidnapper.
Score! The sword of retribution has cut down on Professor Harold Hill. And if I've heard rumors about those who are tarring and feathering, I will not say them nay.
Well, I should think there ought to be some sort of person in this town who could remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Do you remember? Well, do you? Well, I should think there ought to be some sort of person who could be grateful for what he's given us, and if so, I should think you want to stand up and admit it.
There be a man who thinks Harold Hill should not be tarred and feathered. Let them rise! You! Sit down!
Hold up. Have you people forgotten how you bought high-priced band instruments and technical instruction booklets and expensive instruments? Where's the band? Where's the band?
Think, men. Think!